it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. Okay, so immediately tapping into this energy, I'm hearing the serenity prayer, which it goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I actually feel like there's been quite a bit of prayer energy that's been bringing this particular message forward. And I think there's a connection to this message and the Leviathan messages that I've been channeling here recently. And if you're new to my channel or you missed those messages, or even if you know what I'm talking about, I actually think it behooves us to just go over that again, like really quickly, because that's the energy that this reading is trying to ground down into. So just as a quick recap, Leviathan is one of the demons that is mentioned by name in the Bible, and it embodies the spirit of confusion and chaos. It's depicted as a sea snake or a sea serpent that has to surface every once in a while in order to breathe. So that symbolism to me talks about this is an energy that moves through water, is somehow connected to water, especially alcohol. I just heard ships and merchants, but that's that like sea salts, oceany kind of energy. So connected to the ocean, also the waters of the body, blood, sweat, and tears. All of those aspects of life that can be very confusing and somewhat diluting to navigate at times. This is an energy that moves through that and kind of hides in that. Also with the surfacing energy, I feel like this is an energy that it can surface every now and again. So you can have these kind of clarifying moments where you can recognize that energy, that wait a second, like something's off here. But I also feel like this is an energy that can bring about certain experiences where you see something or experience something that's very shocking or very defining, very intense in some way, that you forget that you haven't seen a sequence of events that led up to that particular moment, or it's like something here could actually be cyclical, but whatever happens is so intense that you forget that something's a cycle, or you forget to check that something's a cycle. Also, Leviathan is kind of nomenclature for the beast or the machine of society, the cold mechanical parts of society. That is often like personified as something that we sacrifice our humanity to in the name of progress, technology, profit, whatever. So we sacrifice the more human parts of ourselves: art, creativity, free time, friends, family, cooperation, human ideals, in order to further those things. And I feel like that's very much the energy that we are dealing with. But I feel like there's been prayers around alleviating this energy, casting out this energy. And I feel like that is the reason this message is coming through, in order to kind of suck this chaos and confusion energy out of this situation, so that even if you have to come crashing down with a thud to reacquaint yourself with reality, I feel like a lot of you are wanting that so that you're able to process this situation, this connection, that you've been in thoroughly, fully, and completely. And that brings me back to the serenity prayer, because you want to accept the things you cannot change. You want to change the things that you can, and you want to have the wisdom to know the difference. And so that is the energy that is bringing this particular message in. And what Spirit is wanting to drill down into is there's a masculine energy here, and take it or leave it with the gender stuff, but this is the way that this is coming across for me. But of course, take this however it's resonating with your particular situation. A lot of times these are energies, right? Masculine and feminine. So it might not be that this is a man, but if it's coming through in a masculine energy, it could be because somebody here is in some sort of active energy, and somebody in the feminine energy is in their being energy, in their receptive energy, something here like that. So take this however it's resonating for your situation. But the way this is coming through for me is I'm seeing a man who had a choice between two females, but these are two women that he has fantasized over, I feel like extensively, for long periods of time. It doesn't have to be the same time period, although it could be. But this masculine puts these two women and like having a relationship with these two women up on some kind of pedestal. And I'm hearing, I wish things could be different. So he's felt that way about both of these women. Maybe he feels like he's chased after both of these women, or that he was unable to make something happen here. There's this common energy of I wish things could be different, and that's somehow linked to this like him fantasizing strongly over these two women. Now I'm hearing in my mind the quote that says the feminine is always dual, and that's something that I learned through studying Vedic astrology. So that's something that I've contemplated quite a lot on. I don't fully understand it. It's just something that I kind of meditate on. I'm not asking you to believe that or anything, but that's the way that this message is coming through, because I feel like there's something here about these two women. There's something very karmic about this for this masculine, where he is meant to conquer and overcome this Leviathan energy, this confusion energy, this fantasy energy through having to parse through these two women and who they really are and what they really are and their energies. And I feel like that is embodied in these two women, in that there must be something about these women that to this masculine is very similar. Again, he puts them up on some kind of pedestal. He's attracted to both of them. That might be what's similar about them, because these two women could honestly be very different. But they could have certain things in common, like maybe he finds them both to be beautiful. He finds them both to be interesting or having good personalities, or he shares certain interests in common with both of them. There's something here like that. But the difference, the strong difference here is that I'm getting that one of these women is the real deal and one of these women is a fake, some kind of counterfeit. It's that siren energy. I just heard she is Leviathan. And so I feel like there could be something about her that represents, or him, again, take that however it resonates, that represents status in terms of society, that Leviathan energy that we sacrifice our humanity and we sacrifice ourselves on the altar of status or success, being looked at in a certain way, for profit, something. That could be an element here to this. But I do feel like, yeah, that's that kind of like confusion, Leviathan energy. And he's meant to kind of parse through what is real and what is fantasy, because I feel like ultimately one of these women is real and one of these women is not real. Like there's a lot of pretense with one of these women. I just heard she knows how to play it. It's a very manipulative energy, and it's an energy that knows how to toy with someone and keep somebody on the hook in order to extract attention. I just heard meaning, self-esteem, praise, worship, being idolized in some way in order to really keep somebody on the hook. But I feel like it masquerades as something else, because to see this energy for what it is to understand it's your enemy. It's to tie yourself to the mast. It's to plug your ears, and it's to try to get through that choppy time period as easily as you can. So with that being said, I want to dip into the energies of these two women, because I feel like there's a question here. This is attached to this prayerful energy of like, which, if any of these two women am I, or which of these two women am I dealing with? Something here like that. And I have brought forth a message recently where I was telling some of you, I was like, I'm picking up on the fact that some of you think that you're not a person that this man puts on a pedestal. You're not a person that he fantasizes about. But you actually are. So that might have been what sparked this like contemplation and this thought process and this desire to kind of get to the bottom of this. So I'm going to get you as close as I can here to try to compare and contrast these two feminine energies to just help you parse through this particular situation. Okay, so let's start with the real deal, okay? This feminine that is the real deal. And I have certain cards here they're coming through in my mind, and I was kind of seeing them as I was preparing for this, but I don't know that I can recall them. But one was like, I remember every detail of that day, and I love you unconditionally, and you're making me a better person. So I feel like something happened here between these two, and I actually think both this masculine and this feminine remember this like very specifically. There's certain details that they kind of pick up on. I think there's a lot of regret. There's that feeling here that like, I wish things could have been different. There could have been a feeling of unfairness, and that I think this feminine in particular was like not treated fairly in love. It could be because this masculine was messing around with this other karmic feminine energy, chose this other person over her, made her feel second best, something like that. But I think both this masculine and this feminine, it's like they remember certain details of like particular moments. But there could be a day. I feel like I just heard their last conversation. They both think about their last conversation in certain details. I still feel like the love is strong between these two, regardless of what happened, because there is actually soulmate love here. There's actual unconditional love. To me, that means loving without condition. It's like, I accept that you're not perfect, but I still can't help but love you because we still have this soulmate connection. I might be protecting myself because I feel like this feminine is protecting herself. She's had to look at something here very honestly, but there's still this like strong unconditional love. And there's this sense that she makes him a better person because she holds him to like a higher standard. Because that's what I feel like is a hallmark of this relationship. I feel like it meets spiritual standards, like some kind of high elevated spiritual standards, which I don't think this was an affair. I don't think there was anything dirty or underhand. I think these people were probably both single when they met, it's, or like when they pursued a relationship with each other, something here like that. And I feel like it's in alignment with both of their intuition. And I do feel spirit was kind of guiding them to each other. And also with this becoming a better person, because this masculine kind of is giving me the sense that these women have been out of his reach, at least for a certain period of time, and I don't know what the exact situation here was, but this soulmate feminine would have moved herself out of his reach, even though she loved him. It would have been very painful. And it's because this situation is actually making her a better person, because she's out of his reach because of self-love, because she refuses to allow herself to be treated in a certain way. And she refuses to allow herself to be compared and contrasted with somebody that she knows to be a phony, and with a situation potentially that she knows to be immoral. Or a treatment that she knows to be immoral or secretive, something here like that. Now, also, this is really, really grounded. There's a lot of pentacles energy here, like with this soulmate energy. So it feels to me to be really rooted in reality. And there could potentially be, there's definitely a path forward. I feel like this builds to like a lot of stability, a lot of well-roundedness, potentially a lot of money here as well. Or like a lot of assets. There's a strong sense of teamwork here between these two. I'm seeing like a family. And there's a sense of like kind of climbing the ladder, working together. It's very cooperative energy here. And I definitely think this culminates in some kind of like marriage or committed relationship. It's very spiritual, but this is also like very casual as well. Like it's very happy. It doesn't feel restricted. It's not tradition for tradition's sake. It actually, there's a lot of support and beautiful self-expression, almost like a bohemian, almost, it's like they put their own spin on it kind of thing. There's also Denishta energy over here with this soulmate, and Denishta is the height of Mars. It is a nakshatra at the end of Capricorn, beginning of Aquarius, and it's always associated with like breaking the mold in some kind of way. And I feel like she breaks the mold, and that may have to do with this commitment energy. It could be that this masculine never wanted to be committed, but it's like when he saw her and when he was introduced to her traits, it was like, whoa, that's somebody that I could commit to. But she breaks the mold in terms of commitment, because a commitment with her, it's not the same as a commitment that I feel he could experience with anyone else. It suits them. They're individuals within this commitment. It's fun. He's free to express himself. She's not trying to control him. She wants to trust him. If she can't trust him, she's not going to be married to him. It's something here like that. It's a very beautiful energy, but there's this mold breaking energy. I also feel like there's something about the look of her and her beauty and her style of beauty that breaks the mold for this masculine as well. So she could have something interesting about the way that she looks, but it's like really works for this masculine. Denishta is also the energy. It's like once you get a taste of it, once you know that that's what's out there, even if you lose it through some kind of accident, because Denishta can bring some kind of like freak accidents. So even if like there has been some kind of weird happenstance here, you always crave it. Like you always chase it. You try to stuff other people, places, or things like into that mold that you have experienced. But it is this kind of like one-off sort of energy. It's like there is no actually like replicating of this energy. I do feel like this feminine energy is not boastful and does not put herself on a pedestal. And I think that part of this connection is like her realizing, and even part of this third party situation is her realizing how just how beautiful she is, because this energy, this Mars energy is like very well formed. So I do feel like there's a lot of attraction to like the body. He feels like she's very well put together. There's something interesting, dynamic about her beauty. Also, I do get the sense that these two could have a child together. Maybe there's something to do with an accident in regards of that, but I'm not getting that so strong. But I feel like this child might have Denishta strongly in their chart and might be very well formed as well, which might be like, very healthy, maybe very athletic. And they are actually, this child has a destiny is what I'm getting. And it's to break some kind of mold, but this child is reaching towards God. Like this child is supposed to climb some kind of mountain. And I don't know what this is, because this doesn't necessarily mean worldly success. But they have something here that they're supposed to climb or overcome. But I almost feel like it's a joy, like this child, because of the nature of their parents and because of this, I don't know. It's like, it feels like they were born in happy circumstances and saw like really happy circumstances and is actually like pretty healthy, emotionally and everything. And they're able to accomplish something in life that benefits others. And they have a very casual way of leadership. There's some kind of leadership oriented energy here to this child. And I just heard like, and through them, I will do my works. Like there's some kind of like really beautiful energy here that is coming through that. And I feel like there's also something here about this feminine where it's like born sexy yesterday energy. Could look really good in red. I just heard lady in red. But yeah, it's almost like it's innocent. These two could have met when they were very young as well. Like this could be something where maybe somebody here had never been with anybody else before, or they were not very experienced, because there's some kind of sweet, innocent energy, but this person's very alluring. They have this, it's actually very sexy between the two of them to explore that aspect because of the newness or the exploration. That's for some. That's if this was like, from back in the day, or like some of you guys, I don't know, for some it's like this was like when you were young, and that kind of, yeah. And I just heard that back when we were young. So there could be a lot of reminiscing here, and that's goes back to this pining energy, and that I wish things could have been different. And this may have to do with some kind of young energy. Like maybe I wish I met you when I was older, or I wish that I could go back when we were young, now that something here has played out. So that's the energy that I am getting. And I do think she's a favorite. I think she's his favorite, but she might not realize that, because I feel like she's kind of moving on from this. It's like she doesn't see him pining after her, or him wanting to go after her. She might not realize that this masculine, I can't tell how far, because part of what's making this whole dynamic very confusing is that everybody, there's the same positions on the field. It's like the same dance, but it's trying to figure out who is who and what is what, because you can have, there's manipulative people mixed up in this third party situation, and there's kind people that are just misguided. Everybody's like on the field here, but it's trying to figure out who is who in your particular situation. So it's not like I can tell you like the wife or the girlfriend is the good person, and like, I can't tell you that, because I feel like this is all kind of like mixed up. So that to me is this energy of this the real deal, like this like high vibrational soulmate energy. And I feel, okay, so now that we've done that, like let's look over here at this karmic feminine energy. So this is a feminine energy that this masculine has also spent a lot of time fantasizing over, dreaming over, pining after, wishing things could be different. And that involves like a lot of situations. So again, I don't know what the exact situation is here, because I feel like it plays out differently in all circumstances. But there is like a fantasy. So I'm getting, I want to feel that way again. We will be together again. And I regret lying to you. That's what's coming through here for this karmic feminine energy. There's a lot of lying that goes on with her. She could even be in another relationship. And but I feel like she, like I said, she knows how to position herself. She knows how to play it in order to come across like she's demure and cutesy and mindful. But really, this energy is very self-absorbed. For a lot of you, I feel like you could be dealing with some kind of narcissistic, I just heard narcissistic injury. And here with this person, and I do feel like there was some kind of like narcissistic injury from their past, and it has to do with the Four of Wands. So there's some kind of this person could have been in a relationship in the past that they okay, let me back up here. So this person runs the show. They know exactly how to play it. I feel like there's a lot of lies towards this masculine in order to keep him hooked. Okay, so now let's jump over here to this karmic feminine energy. So this is another lady, and take it or leave it with the gender stuff. If this is resonating for your situation, take it however it's resonating for you. This is just the way that it's coming across for me. Seeing these two people personified in feminine energy. It could mean that they're both females. It could mean that they're, feminine types. It could mean that they're in their feminine energy, whatever that means to you. It could mean that they're in their being energy as opposed to their active masculine yang energy. Take this however it's resonating for you and your situation. So like I said, this karmic feminine energy, this is another lady that this masculine has spent copious amounts of time daydreaming, fantasizing, pining, idealizing over her and their relationship together. Now, this doesn't have to mean that this masculine was fantasizing about both of these women at the same time. It could be. But these are like the two women that he spent the most time in his life, like fantasizing, daydreaming, pining over. They really are like the two main love interests of his life. This is very karmic in order to help him learn his spiritual lessons and sift through what is real and what is not real, all the things that we kind of already talked about, right? So he spent a lot of time pining after her, and that goes back for me to the shared energy here, which is like, I wish that things could be different. I wish things could be different. It has a very different connotation over here with this karmic feminine energy, because with the soulmate, I feel like everything was above board and everything was in alignment with higher spiritual principles, virtues, and values. That is not true of the connection here with him and his karmic. I really feel for a lot of you, this started off as an affair. Like for most of you, like 95% of you, it's just giving me those vibes where one or both of these people was already in another committed relationship. If it wasn't that, then at the very least, this is just a situation. I mean, either way, it's just rife with like lies, delusions, deceptions, that kind of thing. But I feel for most of you, this was an affair. So this whole like, I wish things could be different is more sinister. It kind of comes across like, I wish I didn't have to be with my partner. You didn't have to be with your partner. I wish that we could be together in this legitimate relationship that I idealize in my head. But that's the catch-22 over here, is that a relationship with this karmic feminine energy, the reality of it and the fantasy of it are two very different things. And I feel like learning that lesson is very destabilizing for this masculine. It puts him very much in like a Two of Pentacles thing. I think this man is being juggled. And it could be that this is karma. Like he may have done this here in the past, but she's definitely juggling him. I think being put in that position makes him feel on some kind of unsteady ground. It could feel financially he's on some kind of unsteady ground. It makes him very unsure of his footing, very unsure of himself, the decision that he needs to make, because he always clings to the fantasy of her. It's like he can't let it go. It's taken up such root in his mind, or it takes a long time for him finally to let this go. There's a very unequal partnership between the two of them, and this karmic feminine seeks out inequality in her relationships. She actively goes after partners that she feels like she has some kind of polar power over. I think for a lot, this will be with like her femininity or her beauty or her body. Somebody that she feels kind of better than, to be honest, that they are just kind of obsessed with her looks. It could be that she has more money than these people, but I can see that she seeks out some kind of inequality in her relationships. This could speak to what she wants to gain, because she's very much an extractor. She goes into relationships wanting to extract something from the relationship, whether that is, it's different. It's kind of giving narcissistic supply, to be honest. Like she wants to feed her ego and take care of any resources that she may need. So it's like she might want power, position, status, money. She might want attention, validation, something here like that. But she goes in wanting to kind of receive something for that. And some of these feminines could want to be taken care of. They could want money, or they could just want it to be like doted after or something, but they seek out this inequality. An irony that I'm picking up on right out the gate is I feel like this masculine, similar to the soulmate, because his soulmate is genuinely sweet and innocent, and I think maybe naive. These people could have met when they were young. But this karmic feminine energy, I think he thought that he picked up on some kind of innocence, sweetness, or naivete in her, but it comes from a very different place. I just heard this is a practiced routine. She knows exactly how to play it. And I'm seeing somebody kind of batting their eyelashes, giggling, bashful. Like this person knows like how to come off that way, but it's not real. This person is actually very manipulative, very strategic, very cunning. So they come across that way on purpose, and it's kind of this like blinding, like don't look at the reality of what's actually going on. And it's essential to keeping some kind of fantasy about her, because I'm hearing coquettish, like she plays coquettish, and I feel like she's an expert at exploiting her femininity is what I'm hearing. Exploiting her femininity to get whatever she wants out of this relationship. I feel like she's very good at playing like charming and confident and playful, but this essentially is a very self-centered person. And the reality of being in a relationship and the fantasy of it are two very different things. I feel like she is very cyclical in her energy in a lot of different ways. That's also going to have this masculine confused, because I think this starting off as an affair, she prefers that because there's an excuse for why he doesn't have her full time and attention. So he just pines after it, and he just thinks, oh, if I could just be with her, every day, oh, wouldn't that be so great? He'll never be with her every day because she doesn't want to be with him. She doesn't want to be with anybody every day. She's very good at like checking out. It's very much giving like that narcissistic idealization, devalue, discard. It's a very like toxic roller coaster. I just heard she's very good at the discard. She prioritizes the discard. I just heard soft landing. So she tries to soft landing because she very much hoovers. She recycles through like her exes in order to get like validation, like attention. She likes to cuckoo back into their lives whenever she feels like there's a challenge, that they might be moving on, that there's somebody else that might be getting their attention. And all of this is about power. And all of this is about attention, validation, domination. Opposite of this soulmate energy, because I think this soulmate energy is actually quite beautiful and breaks the mold for a lot of people, like not just this masculine, very alluring, actually has a natural sensuality. But this soulmate energy doesn't actually see herself in that lens. I think she's naturally humble and has genuine value in terms of humility. So what that means is that there could be a self-esteem issue over here with this soulmate energy. There's kind of a weird way of like snapping her out of it or waking her up to the reality of just how beautiful she is. And I'm for a lot of you, I'm talking to you directly that like, this is it's meant to be part of a side effect of what you've gone through here. But basically, I don't know if she expects to lose or if she expects to be second best, or it just, it wouldn't shock her that sometimes somebody would prefer somebody else over her. It doesn't shock her at all. That contrasts to this karmic feminine who expects to win. She is really full of herself. And I think it's something about the look of her and like the beauty of her. She likes manipulating men because they are very taken by the look of her, and they think that it means certain things about her, or they're very prone to believing that it means certain things about her that it does not mean. So she gets away with a lot. It's kind of like I'm seeing a fresh coating of snow that like covers what's actually on the ground. It's something here like that. But she expects to win. She expects to be dominant here. She kind of feels like it's kind of like an unfair, uneven competition. The irony here is that I feel like both of these feminine energies, as this plays out over the long term, in order to fully cope and understand what's gone on here and to process this, they both have to consider that they actually have their position backwards. I think this soulmate, he's never going to forget about her. Even if this karmic feminine feels like she maneuvers him in a place where she's won out over this soulmate feminine, meaning like, okay, I got him in a relationship, or we had a baby, or we're married now. I think that his attention's going to wander back over here to the soulmate. He's going to pine after her. He's going to wish things could have been different. That's that I wish things could have been different energy. So where he could have been pining after, like, I don't know how this could work out in a myriad of ways. But I do feel like that I wish things could be different energy could potentially like flip on its head. So for some, he was having an affair on his soulmate feminine. And he was like, gosh, I just wish that I could get out of this relationship and into this relationship with this karmic feminine because I idealize her so much. He's going to get this relationship that he pined after so much. And then he's going to be like, oh, I wish that things would have worked out differently. Like there's some kind of irony here when it comes to this. And I feel like this karmic feminine is actually going to have to realize that she's not the favorite and that she didn't win. She's so used to winning. But there's something here about the connection between this soulmate and this masculine energy and like the realness or something, like to where like she actually she ends up being the victor. But I also feel like the soulmate's walking away and doesn't care about any of that. But yeah, there's something where I think it actually forces this karmic feminine to realize that she's not real, and there's no genuine chemistry between the two of them. All of this is built on lies and deceit, and it's just going to crumble down. And I don't know. I don't think that's a feeling that she's used to having, or I don't think she's used. And for some, and I get this message so much that it's got to be true for some of you. For some, this karmic feminine energy toys with men because it's easy. She likes women, and I think for some, she's trying to get this soulmate feminine's attention through this masculine. She actually, and so that's what I'm saying. For some of these soulmate feminines, I mean, you've just got to laugh at this at a certain point, and you kind of got to walk away from this thinking, I guess I'm hot. Like, I guess I am desirable because it's like he wants you and she wants you. And the irony is he's fantasized about her and she's his competition. She's like, I want your soulmate feminine. Okay. You think that I'm your love interest. I'm your biggest rival, bitch. It's something here like that. It's for some of you, there's an irony. There's some kind of ironic twist here in this energy. But anyways, going back to this karmic feminine, she is cyclical in her energy. She's cyclical in terms of attention. So like I said, this started out as an affair and he's like, well, she's got to tend to her husband or whatever. Even if he gets her in a relationship, you'll go through an idealization phase, the love bombing, and then her attention is going to be scattered and she's going to juggle you, and she's going to juggle you with her work. But I think there's other people here. Eventually there will be. I just heard she doesn't stay single for long and she doesn't stay faithful for long because she gets bored. And this is a self-centered energy. And it's really all about her and it's all about her attention. Seduction isn't real. It's just a game to her to kind of catch and release a bit. So she's cyclical with her attention. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it'll never live up to the fantasy that this masculine thinks. She's cyclical in her emotions, which is the love bombing thing. But she also like pulls back and it plays this little game because she likes to be chased after. For some, this is so karmic for this masculine because I feel like this masculine may have done this to his soulmate, or he wanted to be chased after, or he did this to other feminine energies. So there could be a karmic aspect to this. Yeah. And also like with the cycles, this could be makeup breakup. She's just very cyclical here in this energy. And yeah, it's just all built on deceit. I feel like there's a certain amount of power that she has over her life here. that she has been able to garner. But she is the dominant one. She has these men and these masculines convinced that she is a softer energy than she actually is, but she's really the one. She just knows how to push their buttons through guile, through manipulation, through concocting a personality structure that she feels is advantageous for her in the moment. But she is the hunter and she is the dominant one. And I think these men she kind of fluffs up their ego or something, but yeah, I mean, and then she's kind of gone again. So I feel like this masculine maybe feels alone, maybe spends a lot of time alone because she doesn't pay attention to him. And there could be something here about money that worries him. I don't know. He's going to get himself in a situation, I think, with this karmic if that's the path he chooses to go down. But if he chooses his soulmate here, then this is really going to be that Garth Brooks energy that I always pick up on. Sometimes I thank God, for unanswered prayers. Because again, I feel like there was a lot of idealization here of an extremely karmic energy and something that just didn't pan out and something that was a gold-painted turd, essentially. But very seductive, though. This feminine is very seductive. So is the soulmate. But I feel like the soulmate has this natural seduction, and it comes through her, I just heard genuine childlike nature, her playfulness. There's a genuine curiosity. There's like an interest in life. There's a vivaciousness. There's a genuine desire to help others and to be cooperative. And it's just so attractive coming off of this soulmate feminine. And I just don't think that she sees it that way. I think she thinks, oh, well, of course you want to be with a coquette. Well, it's empty. It's an empty, hollow life with a coquette over here. Yeah. So that's the difference really between these two. And I feel like some of you thought, okay, well, there's this coquette and then there's me that he's like not seeing on that same level. No, I'm getting that there's two women here that he puts on that same level. And if you're a soulmate, you might really think, oh, well, she's beautiful. I'm not on her level at all. But she's not even real. Like, you're real. You bring so much more to the table. And again, so for her, okay, so the other thing is that there's a sense to her that I'm seeing her watch an Ace of Wands energy. So she's looking for some kind of new beginning. She monitors something here. And it has to do with like, she waits to see like when she's going to come back into people's life. There's also a sense of her being brokenhearted about some kind of Four of Wands energy. This could be the family that she grew up in, where she thought it was like a happy family dynamic and dad could have been involved possibly with like a schmegs worker or something that was like very schmegsual or something and then like left the family. So that's where she associates power with, is with some kind of like schmegsuality, and she wants to assert power over her world in order to try to keep that kind of like fenced in. And for some, I get this connotation with her that I keep getting this, that she's actually more interested in women, but she chooses men because she finds them more controllable. And I'm not going to say that, but it's like she thinks that she's better than them because of that. But yeah, it also could be that she was in a relationship here in her past. And that was potentially a happy relationship dynamic. But I think she was actually treated as an equal. And this karmic feminine is not expecting to be treated as an equal. She is expecting to be doted on, deferential, oh my gosh, please don't leave me, that kind of thing. But I feel like there could have been a partner here from her past that did actually very much stand their ground. And she likes that actually. But it's like she needed to learn a different way to be, and her games and her tactics didn't work on that person. And so they potentially left, and she was potentially looking for a new beginning, like out of that relationship, because she's still operating on that like strategy. I must win. I must appear to be having this like fiery, passionate new beginning, because it's like she doesn't know who she is if she doesn't do that. It's very cunning. She knows how to play the game. In a way, it's kind of admirable. I think there's a lot of things that are admirable, actually, like especially in terms of feminine power. I mean, just a man-eater, this one, you know? And probably very powerful in the world. Has quite a bit of control over her own destiny, would have a natural capability in knowing how to do that, even if a man thinks he's in charge. But yeah, there's definitely something here from her past, and she's pissed about it. And this man that she was with very much could have been maybe very masculine, but also very nurturing or very caring. And she liked that. And there could have been some kind of ending. It may have had to do with a pregnancy. I don't know on whose side of things, or, but it also could have had to do with like a schmegs worker, or it just could have had to do with, him not wanting to play her game, but I feel like she was kind of bested here, and it sticks with her. It's like a trauma thing. So it's like she's trying to get attention, but there's like some original person that she's trying to get their attention. Could have been a father figure, but then it's also linking up to some kind of like soulmate energy here from her past that she wants a reunion with. And she thinks if she has this fiery, passionate new beginning, that's how she's going to get a reunion with this old person, because it's going to make them jealous and it's going to make them chase. But I don't think that's going to work, because I think that person is a genuine soulmate. And I think they might be mad. Maybe because she's doing whatever it is that she's doing. So, yeah. There's, again, timing, cyclical, cunning, strategic, advantageous, thinks ahead, seeks out inequality in relationships, or tries to stoke inequality, which is like power dynamic, And I think for her body and her beauty, and maybe for some she's got money or status in life, it's a dominant force. She uses it in a seductive way, but it's actually domination. And it's actually very cunning. So, yeah, that's the two energies here. And I hope that clears this up. So, yeah, she tries to come off like she's pure, but she's so jealous. And when she rekindles things, she tries to act like her intentions are pure, but it's really because she's jealous, or she feels stuck in her life and she wants them to feel jealous. She's getting lost in the memories about something, and she's acknowledging that her intentions can be selfish, but she gets lost in the memories. There's somebody here, I think, from her past that they've been in love with for a long time. They're so jealous, and like that person's like left or something here. So yeah, I think there could be quite a lot of mirroring between this masculine and actually both of these feminine energies. I just feel like one represents his like potential and like burning karma kind of thing. There's Danishta energy coming through with both of these individuals. Quite beautiful, breaks the mold. But the Danishta energy that comes through with this karmic feminine is Knight of Swords for me, which is very argumentative. He could have involved with her like in an argument with his partner, and he used that to justify cheating, to like run over to her and cheat. It's argumentative energy. It's brash energy. It's strategic energy, but so I think you get the difference here. I hope this helped if you were confused as to like which side of the equation that you're on, but I think I'm going to call it a day there. So that's what I have for you. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.